Hi guys, welcome back to the No More Trauma virtual yoga and wellness studio. I am excited to have you back. My name is Tanya. We'll get started in today's yin flow, and this is a yin flow for harmony, right? So we're balancing out any intense emotions that we may be feeling around this time of year as we move into a space of transition, right? So we're ending late summer and moving into autumn. And so how do we create a space of harmony in our body and our mind, right? And even within our environments. So the people in our space, our thoughts, our finances. So it's all about embracing that space of harmony. And so I invite you to have some blocks on hand or maybe some pillows or blanket. We'll get started. See you on the mat. Okay. So I'd like to begin with a meditation. I always start our yin practice with a birthing to really open up the practice and see where we are energetically. Okay, so taking a block, you can gently place it underneath the sit bones. If you're like myself and your shoulders tend to roll over, right, or you have a little bit of a tilt, you can always place a block or blanket underneath, okay? And so once you have found a comfortable seat, whether on or off a block or a blanket, gently begin to bring your awareness to the sit bones and just resting the palms to ground down, tops of the thighs, gently tucking the chin, crown of the head in line with spine, softening the space in between the eyebrows. And we'll slowly begin taking 3 collective breaths. Just gently inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. 2 more together. Inhale. Exhale, soften. Last breath, inhale. And exhale. And just breathing out the natural rhythm of your breath. And just starting to notice what emotion showed up to the mat today. Any feelings of rigidity, angst, intensity, or worry, stress. Just honoring that. And just start to notice the sensations, maybe in the hips, maybe in the knuckles, the wrist, maybe in the shoulders or the jaw. Just notice if you're clenching or holding any tension anywhere in the body. Inhale. Just beginning to come to the mantra, I embrace harmony through life's transitions and changes. As, you know, kids go back to school, maybe you're starting a different place of work. Maybe you're transitioning from one relationship to the other, whatever that looks like or mean to you. And just notice if there's any disharmony, and just embracing that. I am embracing the harmony within and around me. Inhale. Exhale, soften. A few more breaths as we slowly transition into our practice and close the meditation. Perfect. Just the next inhale, just bringing the awareness back into the room, back into the body, wiggling the toes and the fingers. And gently on the next inhale, drawing the shoulders up to the ears, maybe giving it a gentle squeeze, maybe balling the fists for 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Gently letting it go, slowly coming back into the space wherever you are. And I invite you to gently press onto the shins. If you're using a blocker blanket underneath you, reaching for that blocker blanket and placing it out by the side. So warming up the spine. We'll remain in our easy seats, placing the palms down. We'll take a couple circles here. So inhale, sending the chest over to the right and to the front of the room. Feeling the sensations maybe in the outer hip, maybe in the low spine. As you exhale, send it back and gently sending it over to the side. And what I usually mention in studio when I'm teaching is that when we take these spinal circles, we begin to not only massage the spine and the brainstem, but in the organs, but we begin to notice that we move to the beat of our own drum. Right? So your circles may look a little different than mine. You may be taking a wider circle, maybe a smaller circle. And there's no right or wrong way. It's about exploring the body within. Go ahead, reverse your circles if you haven't already. Stay in contact with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe you soften the gaze and just go within. Right? So maybe this 30 minutes is your time to yourself. No partner around, no kids around, no boss, co-workers, siblings, friends. Just an opportunity to really just be with yourself. And we can't forget the furry friends. They also require a lot from us. So last circle around and I will meet you back in center. Again, exploring whatever is coming up, savoring each movement. So meeting you back right in center. So this time we right ear, right shoulder. Okay, just taking any tension that may be trapped in the neck a bit, right? Inhale. And maybe if you need just a little bit more assistance, you can take that right palm, send it up to the sky. Exhale, bending at the elbow, gently pressing on the crown of the head or the temple, gently being gentle and just getting a little bit more of an intense stretch. Holding it for just a bit here. Perfect. Go ahead, sweep the palm back up to the sky, gently releasing it down to earth as you bring the crown of the head back to the center. We'll take it on the other side. So left ear, left shoulder, opening up that throat chakra on the right side. Also really good if you have some challenging times when sleeping. So we're really going to work into that energy of the neck and shoulders as well as the hips. So inhale, sweeping that left arm up if you need just a little bit more, bending at the elbow, pressing the palms right at the crown, and just allowing more of the sensations right in the right side of that neck. Just continue staying with the breath. Inhale. And exhale, gently release the palms, send it back down to earth as the crown comes back to center. Perfect. So we'll transition into opening up some more in the shoulders as we come down to our bellies. Okay. So sending the soles back behind you, slowly coming into that tabletop position, and slowly coming down to the forearms, all the way down to the belly. Okay, so as we open up, lengthen here in the collarbone area, we'll send the left palm out like a T. Okay. And as we inhale, sweep the right sole up, crossing it over that left leg, and that knee is going to be pointed to the sky. That sole is grounded into the earth, right? So we're peeling up the chest and just noticing the stretch right in that left arm. So option to rest the crown of the head on the earth. Just taking a few breaths here. Really feeling that stretch right across the chest. So that right palm is just right at eye level, pressed on the earth, or you can take the bind, sitting that right palm right across the low back. Just letting the body soften here. Just feel grounded and connected to earth, not doing a whole lot, just really just savoring that moment where you can just be at rest, be at harmony, right? Inhale. Exhale. Few more breaths here. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Perfect. On the next inhale, if you decided to take the bind across the low back, you can gently bring the right palm back at eye level, so pressed onto the earth, gently rolling back onto the belly as you gently lift that right sole, sending it to meet the left. Right, and we'll take that on the other side. So the right palm comes out like a T. Okay, and on that inhale, gently lifting that left sole off of the earth, maybe pointing the toes and sending it over and across that right side, right, that right leg. The sole is now placed on the earth. So maybe the whole sole is planted on the earth, or maybe it's just your toes, and that's okay, right? And so we're peeling and lifting that left side of the chest, and that left palm may be planted right into the earth. And if you need just a little bit more, you can always take that left palm and take the bind across the low spine, lumbar. Inhale. Exhale. And maybe you just notice that, you know, one side is a little tighter than the other, and so we don't judge it. We just observe and get to learn and relearn the body. Again, finding that place of harmony, maybe even asking yourself, what area in my life could use a little bit more harmony, right? What's shaken up a bit, okay? As we transition into autumn, this new season, what are some things that have shaken up that maybe need a little bit of ironing out? Two more breaths. Last one. Inhale. Perfect. If you decided to take the bind, gently releasing that left palm and sending it back down to earth. And as you slowly roll back onto the belly, you're lifting that left sole, gently allowing it to meet the right. Feeling all of those sensations. Taking both palms as you gently roll up into a Sphinx pose. So the palms are right, I would say 3/4 of the way towards the top of the mat. As you peel and lift the chest, noticing that tiny back bend that's happening right in that low spine. So the pelvis is pressed into the floor, tops of the thighs are pressed into the floor, all the way down to the toes. So really, you have activated forearms here. Just honoring that movement, that collarbone is open, the shoulders are rolled down. Inhale. Exhale. So we're keeping the spine healthy by creating this gentle back bend, right? So the glutes are protecting the spine. We're also toning the abdomen here. And just notice if you're clenching the jaw. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Well, decided to have some sounds happening above me. So that's the thing about life when there's any sort of interruption or disharmony. It's about just coming back to the breath, right? Reminding yourself that you're safe. And be here for 3 more breaths. Perfect. Gently reaching for your block, you're going to place it right at about hip level. So you're going to allow the, I'll let We'll start on this side. So keeping the knee at 90 degrees, right? So the knee is at 90 degrees, still in line with the hip. You're going to lift the knee, placing the block, allow it to rest on the knee, so where this pose is actually still in Sphinx pose, but we have half frog happening right at the waist. Okay, so we're opening up the hip, noticing the sensations maybe happening in the inner hip, keeping the sole flexed. And maybe you rest your Sphinx, and maybe you stack the forearms and gently allow the crown of the head to rest. Three more breaths here. Option to sway the neck side to side as you rub that acupressure point to release any stress in the third eye, any anxiety, and just rubbing out any of that energy. Also supporting if you have challenges with headaches. Perfect. Gently on the next inhale, lifting the crown of the head, reaching for that left block, maybe lifting the knee a bit as you gently bring the left sole towards the back of the mat. Taking the block, placing it on the other side, we gently bring that right knee 90 degrees, still in line with the hip. Okay, keeping the sole flexed, and maybe you start in upper Sphinx pose. Okay, again, noticing sensations happening in that outer hip, in the inner groin, maybe even in the knee. So this is also supporting range of motion. So that hip flexibility, you know, when walking, sitting, squatting. If you join me in my Pilates classes, we definitely work on some of the glutes and hip postures there. Inhale. Exhale. And again, if you decided to stack the forearms, you can also do that here. Three more breaths here. And again, option to sway the head side to side, just massaging that third eye. Wonderful. Inhale, gently lifting the crown of the head, gently reaching for the block on the right side, creating space for that right knee, sending it back, and slowly releasing the block to the side. This time we'll roll onto our side. We'll do what's called a subscapular release. This has become very popular in my training as well as in studio. So taking the block, gently placing it on the medium side. So you're hovering over the block, right? And as you slowly come down and placing it onto the armpit, you may automatically notice sensations happening right in that armpit, or maybe an inch or two below that armpit. Bringing the elbow to earth, resting the crown of the head. Option to take the left palm, just rest it on the hips, and begin to sway side to side and start to notice that sweet spot. And so this can be, you may find it a little intense, so just do your best by being gentle with yourself. But I remember the first time I did this pose, which was not too long ago, and I found myself in my feelings. And so when I decided to look it up, I wondered what was so challenging about this pose. And what I learned is this pose, this area right underneath the armpits, is where you can store a lot of anger and a lot of pride. So I just found that incredibly interesting. And so it's amazing what our body does. So again, you may sway side to side. Remember to breathe, just adding some harmony in the armpits. Also noticing it's very close to the heart space. Inhale. And exhale. Remember to be kind to yourself. Be loving. Whew. Yes, it is very intense pose here, but also remember to do as much or as little as you need, giving your body what it needs, listening. And that's what I love about Yin, is it's a listening, it's a practice of listening to the body, to the heart, to the mind, to the organs, to the blood, to the tissues, and really removing any of the blocks or trapped energy. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more breaths here. Wonderful. Gently lift the crown of the head, slowly pressing the palm into the earth, maybe both palms, gently lifting off of the block, feeling all of that energy that's been moved and shifted around, right? And massaged. And so we'll take that on the other side before we slowly begin to close our practice. So gently rolling onto the left side body, finding a comfortable seat on the side and hovering over the block, gently coming down, placing the elbow on the earth, resting the crown of the head. And you may notice one side may have more information than the other. And again, just slowly massaging that space, the lymph nodes, which helps the blood The lymphatic system is a very important system of the body. So just giving a gentle massage. Just notice if you're, again, tightening the jaw. See if you can soften. Three more breaths here. Gently taking the palms, just pressing it into the earth, just releasing the crown of the head as you slowly come up, create space to release the block from underneath you, and slowly rolling on to your back. Just drawing knees into chest and wrapping maybe the knees, maybe reaching for opposite elbows or wrists. And just give yourself a tight squeeze, maybe swaying side to side, really working the digestive organs. Gut health is very important. This is really good. Struggling with anxiety, some little challenges there. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Gently release the arms. Extend the legs all the way down to the bottom of the mat, allowing the toes to fall outward. Maybe you bring the arms out like a cactus or like a T, or full prostration with palms overhead, and just allowing the body to become heavy, fully heavy. Just letting the scalp soften. Letting the third eye soften. Letting the nasal cavity soften. Softening the space in between the ears. Letting the tongue hang from the roof of the mouth. Letting the throat soften. Letting the chest and shoulders soften. Letting the thoracic spine, ribs and heart soften. The shoulders soften. Forearms and palms, knuckles, fingertips soften. And the belly soften. Pelvis and the groin and glutes and hips soften. Knees Soften. Shins and calves. Soften. Ankles, soles, and toes. Soften. Organs and bones. Soften. Coming back to your mantra, I embrace harmony through life's transitions. Feel free to stay here as long as you like, as long as you need to. Actually, you live abundantly. Love your authenticity. And radiate organic happiness. But most importantly, live a life of no more trauma. Namaste.